ADA, what was some of the most exposure that you had to crypto at any one point?
It's still today. I mean, 100% of my liquid net worth. So all of my savings that I don't need to cover my bills is in crypto. And I've been adding
Wow.
because we're at that point where the economic inflection point is going to change, and that tends to be quite good for crypto. So I don't expect everybody to do that because liquid net worth is different to entire net worth. I've got houses that I don't have mortgages on. I have an income. So the amount of risk I'm taking is actually not as big as it sounds.
The crypto market has entered a more mature and stable phase since the beginning of this month, with Bitcoin finding strong support at the $19,000 level. Bitcoin is being deployed as a reserve currency around the globe amidst falling global fiat currencies and has emerged as a preferred choice for many investors to beat inflation and safeguard the purchasing power of the money. Bitcoin and Ether are down more than 50% from their all-time highs in late 2021. While there have been small surges in recent weeks, the crypto market as a whole is largely stalled. While no one knows for sure, some experts say crypto prices could fall even further before any sustained recovery. Bitcoin hit multiple new all-time high prices in 2021, followed by big drops and more institutional buy-in from major companies. Ether, the second biggest cryptocurrency, notched its own new all-time high late last year as well, and then crashed below $900 in June, its lowest level since the start of 2021. U.S. government officials and the Biden administration have increasingly expressed interest in new regulations for cryptocurrency. People have always sought assets that were not controlled by governments. Gold has had this role for centuries. And yes, we could potentially see Bitcoin to become the 21st century digital gold. Let's not forget that gold was also volatile historically. But it is important to keep in mind that Bitcoin is risky. It is presently too volatile to be a reliable store of value today. All the while, people's interest in crypto remains high. It's a hot topic not only among investors, but in popular culture too, thanks to everyone from the biggest Bitcoin bull, Michael Saylor, to that kid from your high school on Facebook. In the video, Raoul, the CEO of Real Vision, shares a lot of great insight about crypto that you would definitely be interested in hearing. Let's hear him out.
Yeah, so it depends on how much risk you want to take and what time horizon you're investing in. If you're young, the single best risk reward is crypto because it's the only market that goes up 10, 20, 50x, while the stock market may double, may go up 200% over the next 5 years, but crypto market does a lot more. So if your aim is to take risks to accumulate wealth, then crypto. I prefer crypto as a bet because I think it has a better risk reward than other markets. But you have to suffer these drawdowns, and a lot of crypto is down 60, 65%. But if you're less risk seeking, you might just want to buy equities. If you're slightly more risk seeking in equities, you might want to buy technology stocks because technology is not going away. I mean, the rise of everything from AI to robotics to EV to space travel to everything is all happening at the same time. We've got this huge inflection point. So clearly that's going to be something that's probably going to generate a lot of profits over time. So I think it depends where you want to be on the risk curve. Some people like physical things. So they like to own stuff like oil companies because there's not enough oil being produced currently for world demand. So maybe over the next 2 or 3 years that does well. But those stocks tend to be mean reverting. They kind of just go in cycles. They're not the buy and hold that technology can be or crypto can be. So I prefer technology and crypto overall.
What kind of things within the crypto ecosystem are really interesting to you at the moment?
The hard thing about the crypto ecosystem is there is so much happening all at the same time. I mean, they've just raised $60 billion in venture capital and everybody's building out projects, whether it's lending markets, financial markets on DeFi, whether it's putting traditional financial markets onto blockchain rails, whether it's putting real estate onto blockchain, whether it's building, doing really interesting things with NFTs, such as ticketing. So we're seeing Ticketmaster has issued 10 million NFTs, the largest NFT issuer in the world. That's going on. We've seen Solana building a phone which integrates all Web3 in your wallets. You've seen, I mean, there's literally almost too much to keep on top of. So, how do you pass through all of that excessive information? You start looking, okay, what are the main chains that the activity takes place on? And the main place is Ethereum, and then places like Solana, Avalanche, Polkadot, and a few others. So that's how you kind of filter down. You see all of this stuff going on. You're like, oh, this is overwhelming. But then the great thing is what platforms they're being built on, and then we can invest in the underlying platforms. So it's a true global asset. It's the same for the person in Dubai as it is for India, as it is for Kiribati, as it is for New York City. It's the same thing, right? We've never had that before. And the access to it, yes, you could trade foreign exchange, which is a globalized asset, but it's actually not that easy for people to do. But this is super easy. So we've never had this before. So I think you're right. I mean, it's really interesting.
Maybe if you had a lesson or a word of advice for your younger self, what would it be?
I think the most powerful thing that I ever created was a network. And I didn't really realize that. And my network started at Goldman Sachs and maybe before that. And then the people that came into my network along the way, if you give them good karma, you're good to people, you help people, what happens is it builds, like in crypto, this network that has value to you as a person and also to the other people. And so even in this digital world, having a network of people around you, don't have to be physical, that you help out and they help out you, you don't realize the opportunities that's going to bring. And you measure yourself by the quality of that network too. Sure, we've all got a bunch of friends we grew up with that we're just kind of stuck with because we grew up together. That's okay, but you need to be actually careful about who you want in your network. And it is immensely powerful. It doesn't mean it pays off today, doesn't mean it pays off tomorrow, but it pays off in the end because you'll be smarter, you'll see more opportunities, and you'll have more opportunities. And that is a really powerful thing.
IRA allow you to save for retirement in a tax-advantaged way for greater financial security with lots of tax advantages. But most IRA offer the same boring stocks and bonds. Introducing iTrustCapital, the #1 crypto IRA platform in America. iTrustCapital allows cryptocurrency investors like you to enjoy all the exciting benefits of tax-advantaged retirement accounts. It combines the traditional IRA with the new, exciting world of cryptocurrencies. Why should you use iTrustCapital? It is the best crypto retirement platform in America, with some of the lowest fees of any cryptocurrency IRA platform. It gives investors adequate exposure to some of the top cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, and Polkadot. You can buy and sell all your favorite crypto assets while enjoying amazing tax-free gains. It is adequately secured by Coinbase custody with a $320 million insurance to protect against theft. You can easily roll over an existing retirement account or begin a new one when you register on iTrustCapital. iTrustCapital is the trusted crypto IRA for many American investors who love the crypto industry. To join the millions of Americans who use the platform, please click on the link in the description box below.
When I bought Bitcoin in 2013, I was super early. I had a long-term thesis and I knew it was going to be volatile and it could go to zero. So the idea was I bought it. It went up from 200 to 1,000 in 6 weeks. I'm like, oh my God, I've never had something do this before. Then it fell 87%. And I kind of like, fine, you know, I knew it could go to zero, but I think it's got a much bigger upside. And my thesis was 100,000 up to 1 million. And then it kind of did nothing for a while and then took off. And there were the forking wars happened in Bitcoin back in 2017. And I got confused and worried that, okay, I don't know what this is going to mean. Is this all going to fall apart? And I was now up 10 times my money. So I took profits and I felt like a god. And then it went up another 10 times. And I was like, that's okay. I've made 10 times my money. I can't argue. Then it crashed again. And I eventually knew that crypto, and particularly Bitcoin at the time, and macro would merge in the next recession. And that I really wanted to own it when it got sold off in a recession. 2020 comes along and I really piled in with as much money as I could possibly scrape together. And it turned out to be a phenomenal bet. Okay, so that sounds amazing. I went back and re-looked at that whole series of trades that I did, which look on paper genius. I went back and realized if I'd have just kept my initial investment and not done anything else, I'd have made 5 times as much as I did by trading it. And then I worked out one more piece of magic, which was if I'd actually bought crypto every time it did these big sell-offs and just added to my position in the same size I had originally put on, I'd have made 25 times as much money. So here I thought I'd done it really well. But what I screwed up was time horizon, because I knew it was going to be a long-term time horizon, and I ended up trading shorter term. And on paper, it looked like I was a genius. But the reality was I was a fool. And so that was a huge lesson for me, both good and bad.
What do you make of Raoul Pal interview? Please let us know your opinion in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Stay savvy.